I knew it from the start. You leave me in the stars, like heaven in the dark. I'm a dreamer, take me deeper. Tell me it's more than a memory, 'cause deep in my heart you belong to me. Give you a part of my soul to keep forever, forever. When I hear that sound and the lights go down, I wanna go back, I wanna go back. When the silence fades and I fall like rain, I wanna go back, go back, go back. When I hear that sound and the lights go down, I wanna go back, I wanna go back. When the silence fades and I fall like rain, I wanna go back, I wanna go back. I'm frozen in that time, been melting in your eyes. Feel our worlds realign. I'm a dreamer, take me deeper. Tell me it's more than a memory, 'cause deep in my heart you belong to me. Gave you a part of my soul to keep forever, forever. When I hear that sound and the lights go down, I wanna go back, I wanna go back. When the silence fades and I fall like rain, I wanna go back, I wanna go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. take me away. Oh, so high that I can't escape.
All right, gang. What's happening? How we doing? Okay, so off the rip, we end up getting yesterday's gold trade to trigger really nicely down here. And then we actually have a second push down, higher high, and a pullback here. So you actually have a re-entry as well. However, I will add, silver's making some moves too. Didn't take silver, even though silver actually mitigated here nicely. But a big move, captures liquidity, bounces right back up. So it got a pretty good bounce out of this little order block imbalance, and it's starting to move on up. And gold holding up really well over here as well. So gold entries. And but I want to take a quick look at what's up here. All right, guys. What's up? What's up, everyone? Yeah, I want to take a quick look here at indices. We have unemployment claims in like 3 minutes or so. So I want to take a look here. Everything's squeezing. So let's dive in here. So if you look at indices right now, you guys tell me, do you see a setup right now that would trigger right away? That's my question, is do you see this play? Because right now I see we took out New York highs, Tokyo highs yesterday. Towards the end of the session, more consolidation. And then even now, like all of this consolidation is just sideways. It's not much going on over here. Liquidity on both ends. Clears the highs. Here we saw big push higher. Loses momentum. Trades right back into here. Doesn't really make bullish structure. So in reality, the way I'm looking at this is NASDAQ takes out the highs, immediately works its way lower, come back to here, so it fills these imbalances, trades up, and honestly the shorts I think were solid for shakeouts here on NQ, and that was earlier though. That was a bit earlier. So right now, no trade for me. I think we're looking good. Like, it's just, we just got to let this thing give us a bit more info. We can take a look at S&P, Dow Jones. Dow, to me, is very simple. Take nothing right now. Whole bunch of liquidity. London session equal highs. Tokyo session's a little bit above here, but just filled some of this gap. So I'm not looking to take anything with indices right away. I'm riding out these trades with gold at the moment. And then, okay, so to make it pretty simple, if we're going to get sells today, then I'm going to trade whatever is moving to the upside, typically the slowest. And we have our signature shakeout model. So where we want it to sweep liquidity, especially multiple time frame, multiple session liquidity, have that kind of come right back into play out of previous structure highs, build some demand, and then, get our short on a pullback. Something like this could be totally fine, whether it's Dow, whether it's S&P, whether it's NASDAQ. So we have that right now. And then if we're looking for buys, the lows, we have yesterday's New York session, pre-New York open lows. But in New York session, we kind of have some movement over here already. So if you guys, I'm sure you will notice this. there was the massive move here. So we could definitely get a buy out of this range over here. All right, so with news hitting, not a ton with indices. Like, it's not a big movement. A lot more with the dollar in itself. So if you go look at this, gold pulled right back in here. Same as silver. So kind of an imbalance within this little section. So it came back down, filled this in here, pushing right back up. This could just trigger the momentum that it needs to rally. Is anyone trading gold? So let me look at the chat. Let's see what's good. What's good with the chat? What's up, guys? How we feeling today? Unemployment claims. Shit, I'm unemployed. What's up, Corey? Harshi, what's good? Seth, song is fire. Coffee pot troubles this morning. Yeah, it'd be like that. What's up, Puccini, Gonzala, Amy, Sandolce? Yes, sells. No, shakeout sell type. No. Yeah, exactly. Claims came in lower at 191. 11:45 candle where I got in. In Nash shorts. Oh, okay. Where'd you get in Nash shorts, Yamane? What do you see here? I don't really see much. Are you trading the 1 minute? Okay, I see that. I see this play here. Little sweep. Boom, boom. A little push to the upside. Mitigate this. Okay, I see that. I see that. I don't know if I would have been fully convinced because of... we just kind of traded down here for a pretty short amount of time. But this definitely mitigated. So if, let's say I was in this sell, my stops would be at entry now. Yeah, my stops would be at entry. So to go back into this idea with gold, the original play was this. We saw the sweep of liquidity. The market worked its way, clearly above these highs, up into here, came back down, traded up again. And then from this point, it was just kind of stalling, building up liquidity over time. And then the market actually got into this zone before silver. It just kind of gently tapped into here, but then it just sustained this. And then that last push down at an 11, that's when silver just went crazy. So it came into the zone, mitigated, came crashing right back in. So when silver came back down, all of a sudden around midnight, that's when gold was still chilling. Like, it wasn't going too much deeper. So it was sustaining structure significantly better. So once gold kind of took over on holding that low, that really validated this idea. And then obviously the market has currently it's currently moving in this direction. And then if you were looking for let's say a re-entry where I saw strong levels here with gold was when we broke below, we started to trade up. Here we're building up some liquidity. So let me just move this over. So sideways movement for a couple hours during Asian session. London kicks in, sweeps these lows, rallies, and then now we get the higher high on the 5 minute. We're trading up here for hours. So it looks like just a good structure to me. And so playing this gold 5 minute setup looked good. And then silver didn't quite break above the high either. If you look at silver here, it tried to. So since silver was kind of not really pushing down, not giving us the higher high, I did prefer gold buys. And then, whoa. So kind of in between, I gave myself a bit more room, so I placed my stop for the second entry actually lower. So I didn't use it here because silver was a pretty big zone. So I actually have my stop on gold down here. So it's a little bit of an open, a bigger trade on the second entry, but it's playing out of profits with this one too. Anyways, indices here. Right now we saw that spike up and then the push down. So this move here, right? We saw NQ pump, clear out some, 30 minutes, 45 minutes worth of retail sellers, and then comes crashing down. The fact that the market breaks below isn't too sustainable down here yet. Not confirming my bearish structure yet. Same thing with everything else. Dow, S&P. So zoomed out, I'm okay with letting this thing kind of chop up, giving me a bit more context. Like, just let the market give us clear directions, right? Clear directions here. So here's what we're gonna do. What we also want to do with indices is not just have our perspective for sells, but we want to also have a very clear perspective on buys, right? Can we get into buys with indices? Is there a valid area here? So if we're looking at, because we have New York open, we don't have another news event today, so that's really it. We'll take a look at some majors, but we have the big spike down, right? This happened right around 8 a.m. yesterday with indices. And then NASDAQ was the one that really struggled to work its way up. So that's why those sells were looking good. And yesterday we saw NQ. It gave us the short briefly. So we got the sell out of here. We saw it reject about 15 points. And then it came up again. So it was a quick mitigation. The bare minimum, get taken out, break even, and then it's over. Now, same thing. We're just squeezing, moving sideways. So the thing is there somewhere in this New York session from yesterday, is there an area in here in which buys could be valid for NASDAQ, or can buys be valid for something like Dow? In my opinion, as of the way we're looking at things right now, the market looks way more bullish on Dow. This is where we want to use our fib level. So we're looking at this 5-minute, 50-minute structure, however you want to consider this. We're clearly trading way up here in this zone, like significantly higher. So we have, for example, 38.2 pullback that we're not even anywhere close to yet. So there's a lot the market needs to drop in order to even get into some of these areas where it would be more valid for these setups. And then from here, even, I would be looking for trades inside of this between 786, 886, and there's actually a really nice order block down here. But that's down. If you go to NQ, and we see there's that last push down with NASDAQ as well before this thing rips. So we got this here. So here's the actual entire structure. But then here's that last push down before the move goes up. So here's where we get this another sell-off. And I want to show you guys this here. So we'll go to the 1 minute. Check this out. So on the 1 minute on NQ, we saw this is liquidity building up. And then you get 25 minutes after New York open, you get that big push down. So a nice sweep. And then the market goes. So I definitely think we have buys in this zone. And it's going to come down to It's going to come down to patience today. A whole bunch of patience. Yeah. So this is what we got. Whether it's NASDAQ, whether it's Dow, we shall see here. Another big thing that we want to keep in mind is this, right? So we just saw the news event go down. Yamane's in the short right now. My boy's out there printing. And from here, and I'll give you guys the 15-second play. I think it looks a little bit, it's easier to be able to identify. But you see a pump up here and then drop. So it's like this. So you see that first. However, in order for me to confirm selling up here, to validate a short, I need good structure, man. I need demand down here. The market needs to give us these lows. It didn't do that. Same thing with Dow here. YM spikes up, takes out these highs. Cool. This looks a little bit better. Clears it. It's starting to create these lower lows. Okay, solid. And Q not so much. Dow is starting to push lower. This could be an idea. Now, what's the downside to this? The downside is that Dow also has plenty of liquidity up here. So look at all these retail sellers. So you have London highs that are just liquidity. So if this is short-lived, if the market can't really hold down here, and this just quickly spikes right back up, then I'm not too convinced on this idea, So that's where I'm at so far with the market. Not fully convinced on the direction quite yet. It would have to get some more price action. But Dow is starting to give those signs. All right. Let me know in the chat, guys, what y'all cooking up. What do you have cooking up in here? Oh, nice. Close that 2R. It's too choppy. Love that. Respect. You were fighting demons on what? Oh, in your sleep. All right. Today's a good day. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Thursday, y'all. Didn't get the alert for gold on the 1 minute. All right, cool. What y'all got? What are we seeing here? So gold right now, if you look, the push down here was a nice like 91, 92 pips. This has mitigated as well. So this candle now has successfully rejected. So if it's gonna go, it's now gonna go on its own. Like metals have been doing their thing. Depends on how much wiggle room you want for this. So like silver actually hasn't completely mitigated. This was a huge move, about 75 ticks. This pushed up a bit, but not all that. So I feel like silver can give us a lot more, and that could also push gold even higher. All right, so here's the nice thing too. So I'm gonna move this over here. Dow now has closed below the previous low. So we have our bearish is starting to roll out a bearish structure potentially. So we want to see more of this, right? We want to see some more of this. All right. And then if we can do that, let's say going into New York Open. All right, cool. I'll give this a shot. Since there's some liquidity up here, I'm going to trade this with less risk. That's it. All right. I'm not going to go full R on this. Just because, I mean, there's liquidity here. You know, if we get good structure, like if we just keep trading down here the next 30 minutes or so, cool. I'm for it. I'm down. But I don't think it's worth risking an entire 1R for me. I'd rather approach it with less risk. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing, too. New York Open for gold also may be very aggressive because it's been squeezing now for the last hour and 10 minutes. So the longer gold's going to move sideways, the bigger it's going to be. And honestly, this has been moving relatively sideways for the last almost 12 hours. So yeah, we broke below and we briefly broke above, but this is squeezing a lot. So it has higher upside potentials here for sure. Gold with liquidity over here. I think taking out yesterday's New York session liquidity could definitely make sense. So yeah, I'm open to gold continuations. Probably trading towards 42.50, give or take. This would be the next the next target. All right, let's take a look at some majors. See what these dollar pairs are doing. Also, right now, you know, things are not too like urgent. So if y'all need to get some water, hydrate. You know, I got my little water. Got some creatine, some aminos to start the day. Also, fun fact: creatine is definitely not something that you should drink only if you're like lifting, hitting the weights. Creatine is like super good for your brain, like amazing for your brain. And also, if you guys are ever like, let's say you're low on sleep, like you just didn't sleep super well, or low, yeah, or just not that much. Take like 20 grams, which is like usually 4 times more than you typically do. But yeah, it's known to help. Like studies show that it can really help with sleep deprivation for the day, like basically counteract it. So do that whenever. So whenever I wake up now, and I'm like, I got a little head thing, just douse it, good to go. And yeah, that would be creatine monohydrate. That's what you would want. Okay. All right. So Dow is kind of chilling, holding up here. All right. So let's look at some majors. Hell yeah, Vaughn. You know. So slow but steady, Swiss franc just chopping its way up. Not one that I have a setup for really. Everything else here is pretty efficient. We're still way up here, so we got some time. Maybe later in the week. I wonder if we have some sort of Swiss franc news tomorrow. Tomorrow we got 9 a.m. news for dollar, some CAD news. Okay. Monday, Australian cash rates. Ooh, okay. So that'll be fun. Dollar, we got the job openings. Okay. FOMC next Wednesday. Y'all ready for that? Let's go. Okay, here we go. So Thursday. I feel like next Thursday might be what gets us up here for this Swiss franc idea. So we got about a week probably until we get over to here. and short this. Remember, this is a big pump that happened on the 14th Friday, and this happened during London session. So, yeah, we might have the interest rates from next week, Swiss francs. That might be what does the trick over here. Our Australian still pushing higher and higher and higher. So, unfortunately, not something I've been able to get into. 6N, and you know, we've been trading so much up here, but we haven't had the clearest signs for sells. So, for example, with Australian, there wasn't like a 4 hour, big move liquidity capture to sell off. So I don't really have that yet. And then same thing here with NZD. ¿Qué pasa si alguien ha nacido sin cerebro? Tough luck, bro. Some Shilajit. Yeah, Shilajit is good for you. Shilajit is amazing for you. That's that Bruce Lee. Concurrent viewers. Where is everybody? Oh, I guess we're not. It's not even 8 a.m. yet, right? Y'all the grinders. I'm like, why is this? Where are the people? But I didn't even realize how early it was. All right, let's see here. So going back to here, do we have potential NZD sells? So to me, it looks like we probably already rejected up here. Anyways, CAD futures, that one, this idea here ended up closing up before the day ended. A little bit of profits, nothing crazy, but not much there. Euro, the yen, ooh. The yen. This one's one that we've been waiting for a little bit. We got really close to coming into the zone here not too long ago. So the difference here, what's interesting is this yen move that popped up here like crazy on Friday, November 14th. So for this, we really haven't gotten anywhere near there, except for the only one that hasn't got to this level is the Swiss franc, which is taking forever. But the yen and the Swiss franc aren't the most correlated. So you can definitely see the big push up here, the drop. So we're getting pretty close to being able to sell 6J from this zone. So I'm keeping my eyes out for this. If we hit this alert, this might happen during New York session. It might happen later. But yeah, look at this. Closing out this big pump. Could definitely get something right there. Collagen coffee. Never had it. Nah, never had it. What's up, Noah? What's up, Carlos? ¿Qué tal? What's good? Let me send out an alert here real quick. Gold with the push down and up. Quick moves. Gold's choppy, man. Came all the way back down, pushing all the way right back up. Madness. All right, yeah, we were live a little early today. Wanted to see if we can take advantage of unemployment claims. And there was a little 5-minute setup there. All right, so let's see here. Yo, question for y'all. So you guys saw a couple of videos that I uploaded this week on Saturday, and then on Monday. Do you guys like those kind of videos? The podcast, the psychology video. What are y'all thoughts on that? Should we make more of them? All right, so looking at Dow. All right, so now it's a moment of truth. We broke below here for 12 minutes, got below, basically created London lows here, and now we're coming back. So, is it worth anything here? Is this confirmed? Should we hit the button here? Is this valid? Does this confirm a bearish structure? Got below for a little bit, came back up. How confident would you feel about this being bearish now? I personally don't love it. Considering we're already in a sideways market, there's already liquidity here. For me, if I was going to take this sell, I wanted, like, you really had to convince me here. Like, you know, the market, I look at it like this. It's like, I feel like the way I manage my money, I'm like I don't know. It's like a parent protective over their kid, you know? And now it's like, oh, if you want access to this, you got to convince me. Like, you really got to convince me. You got to negotiate me. It's just hard sales tactics. Right now, the market here, Dow is not convincing me that it really wants to go down. It's kind of like it didn't come prepared with its presentation fully. So it's kind of trying to bullshit its way into telling me, like, yeah, no, trust me, it's bearish. But, like, I don't got the facts. You don't got cool images to prove to me that you're bearish. So this was like kind of half-assed the job. I'm not convinced. I'm not really convinced yet. So this is like, all right, bro, better luck next time. So for those of you that are in Spanish, en español, cuando el mercado aquí nos hace este bajo, no me convence. Como que trata de ir bajista, pero después pierde el impulso. No lo mantiene la tendencia bajista, entonces no voy a estar vendiendo aquí porque más que todo tenemos más liquidez aquí arriba, estamos en esta zona, entonces no me convence todavía. So, yeah, with that being said, it kind of sucks because you're just going to be like kind of waiting for the market to do stuff, and I don't think we're going to get too much more until New York Open, to be honest. So if for whatever reason we're not able to get our way into the sells, maybe it does play out, okay? Then the big picture, the buys I'm looking at, basically below 47,550 is what I'm looking at for buys. In the meantime, gold starting to get higher, okay? Hey, I'm with you there, Sonny. That liquidity, suspicious. All right, so we got, these are my current ideas here. Whoa. Got these bad boys running. Collectively. Don't need too much more. All right, so 42, 46, 9. Well, then, here we go. Now, looking at price action and how to move stops with metals, at least right now, we're getting a good push. Really good movement. This is chopped up quite a bit, and like I mentioned earlier, the more it squeezes, the bigger the breakout's going to be. And this overall has been squeezing quite a bit. So at this point, I think it's pretty fair to just go stops to break even, and especially now that we're breaking above this. Stops to entries here, especially if you had entries over here. Now stops into profit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Tighten up here. No need to have too much risk on the table anymore, or any risk for that matter. All right, keeping it light. See where this takes us. Oh man, the sun's in my fucking face. Jesus. Y'all see this camera right now? Being blinded. Ah. Wildin'. Yo, give me a second, guys. Let me turn this down here real quick. It's wild. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. The sun right now is like reflecting off this glass window from across like next door, so it just bounces back and is absolutely blinding me. Okay, so where do I got this? So honestly, it's gonna be a slow burner today. More than likely, we'll see. New York Open might shake things up a bit and create just a whole bunch of volatility, but everything else, there's not much that's like time sensitive in my opinion. What is probably going to have a big day today too is going to be oil. As you guys are noticing, oil has been trending or building up liquidities this way. So a sweep below, I can totally see. And then up here as well, it's just basically retail selling at resistance. So it's kind of in both sides. We have this nice push down. So take a look at this here. This is one of those ideas that I think people are itching to take a buy right here. And I like it too on its own. The problem I have with this is that oil has created liquidity here though. Oil has retail lows right there. So with all this here, I'm just like, you're kind of asking to get swept right there. So yes, we see this clear this liquidity. Cool. Sweeps below, breaks above. But also it fails to stay bullish. It fails to create upwards trends here. And it tries and it fails. Comes up again and it drops. So not really getting the most that you would want to here. And then, so right now, what we're seeing at the moment, we saw this just make a new high relative to London session, above Asian session highs, trading into these New York highs from yesterday, and then it breaks through. But now again, still not making lower lows, still not creating just demand down here. So, as much as oil, is kind of potentially giving setups here, I personally have to disqualify the buys, and at the moment, no valid sells. So for now, we're chilling. Dow, same thing. For now, nah. Mexican peso, just flying. And Q, look at that. Okay. And Q getting a bit more decisive, starting to trade higher. You know, we're not in anything here. We're just waiting. So NASDAQ with the lead right now, pushing higher. Dow slowly picking up. I wonder if this is kind of the biggest idea that I'm waiting for here. This is what I'm leaning, is that we're going to break above here, and then we can get some sort of short. All right, what's up, guys? ¿Podrías hablar español un poquito mejor, hermano? Bueno, podrías hablar español un poquito mejor. What? ¿Hablar mejor? No lo hablo suficiente. No está a tu nivel. Perdón, la falla en excelencia aquí. Un día seré suficiente para ti, RK Knight. Un día. Good morning. What's up, Tio? What's good? All right, so we're smooth here right now. About 130 pips up here. From this one, we're looking at over 200. Smooth right now. Where are my gold traders? I know a lot of you guys are looking at this like a hawk. I feel like I'm finally part of the club. Like, I finally got into. Yo creo que eso es lo que se refiere también. I'm finally part of the gold club. I made it. All right, silver breaking through liquidity. Excellent. If you had it marked up, yeah, I would put that in your journal. If you analyzed it and it just, it went without you, you didn't pull the trigger, you were asleep, whatever happened, right? Whatever the case is, I would definitely still journal it. I would document it because it helps you understand. One, it'll build your confidence that, okay, yes, you are doing the right things for a reason A, B, and C. You didn't get triggered in. But I would still keep that in there because you want that data. Because sometimes you may have a month that, well, at the end of the month, right, you'll have, okay, what did you get? What was your net risk reward? How well did you execute your trades? But on top of that, what you're going to notice is sometimes we may feel really negative about our trading, but you might have missed 2 trades, and both of those hit take profit. And had you just done a better job at executing, had you been awake or whatever, you might have had a completely different month. And that is just a good sign that, okay, it's not my system, maybe it's my execution. And it just, or maybe not. And it tells you the truth. And yeah, maybe you do suck. And that's possible. So, yeah, I would just keep those things in mind and look at it from that perspective, from that point of view. So I would document this for sure. Okay, so we're seeing a nice move so far on gold and silver. Silver taking out liquidity, breaking out. So absolute rampage. Love this. Love what we're seeing here. Silver definitely taking the lead here in momentum. So where we can get some reversals out of here, we might be seeing the market start to tank. It kind of feels like we already played out of this order block right over here. So this might actually just trade way up until 58.50. And then that could take gold beyond. So gold's about to break these highs. And as I mentioned, the liquidity up here on gold at 42, 46.9, 47, this is my target. And then collectively, this would be just about a 5R if this hits. At this point now, I'm stop profit on this entry and then risk free on this one. And then now it's all about, can this maintain this structure or not? So if we can hold bullish structure, even better, then the pullbacks are kind of easier to maintain. Otherwise, if this thing is just going to immediately drop back down, if this just bleeds right away, then there's a good chance this is not going to be sustainable, and this is just like a liquidity capture or something. So right now, yeah, moving, let's say your stop up into profit, I think makes a bit more sense instead of just giving everything back. Okay, here we go. So Dow, fucking Dow Jones. What a shit. Well, the mitigation played out, guys. Played right into here and just instantly shorted. I'm okay. I feel okay with not taking this. The lower low was pretty mid. This is pretty mediocre structure-wise. It wasn't that great. So, honestly, that's fine with me. And then, meanwhile, NASDAQ and S&P went the complete opposite direction. And this thing is going absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this thing is ripping now. Awesome. So we're seeing a nice move up, reaccumulation with NASDAQ. We actually got a sweep below this low and then the continuation. So NASDAQ, honestly, especially if it stays bullish, we have that last push down here, which was a little bit after unemployment claims. We get this last push. This clears out liquidity. So you see this move right here. If NASDAQ now stays bullish, protects its bullish structure up here, then we could be looking for buys. So NQ, possible buys now in a completely different setup. Meanwhile, Dow is had a little reaction, right? Little sell-off. Looks like it's bouncing back up again. Cool. That is what it is. Again, how many times, guys, do you have to see it? It's all about keeping your composure. Or you got to stick to your guns. You got to stick to your plan. There's going to be a million setups that you kind of see and you're like, oh, maybe that would work. But you're not here to trade something that it's like if everything can be valid for you, then nothing's valid for you. So having clear rules, that's what matters. So you got to be able to do that. Have the conviction behind what you trade and what you don't trade. Just as important as it is for what you take, it's equally as important to what you say no to. You have to be able to say no to the majority of setups you see. And if everything looks good all the time, that means that you don't actually have a system. All right, we need about another 111 pips here. Silver pushing down pretty quick. Gold maintaining. Nice. Okay, that's good. That's solid. We actually might get the next continuation here. So sometimes, for example, when the correlated asset, like silver here, drops like this aggressive, and then it comes back to where we've seen resistance here, I wouldn't take an entry here. But it's possible it gets a good bounce. And since gold is holding up pretty well, it might use that bounce to just propel to the next, kind of to the next target, the next key reversal zone. All right. Oh, yeah, this thing is going. Sending it. Nice. Okay, solid. So London highs. All right, so session highs done. So Nasdaq has effectively cleared liquidity. Now it's whether is this going to be the confirmation for bullish structure and we stay up here, or is this going to lose momentum very quickly and it maybe shows us a completely different trade and the signs that sellers want to come in. So now we just let the market prove itself to us. Hold on to that cash, ladies and gentlemen. Have you tightened stop on gold? Yeah, I have. So for gold, I've moved my stop already. Right now, what I want to see out of gold is how strong its conviction is on this move. So I actually moved my stops. I had them already break even. And if we're going to get aggressive pullbacks, I want to see how quickly this is going to drop or not. So I'm moving my my stop to here. If it comes crashing down, then cool. I want to still be able to take something. If it like holds well, then yeah, you could get a normal pullback. Maybe it's going to reject out of this. And if its structure's good, then you can just take another entry. So we'll kind of see. All right, NQ starting to work its way down. Dow starting to work its way down. Okay. Yeah, no good setup. Sit on your hands. Chill the fuck out. You know, Dow been toxic recently. Dow's been Dow's left me hanging, man, a couple times this week. It's been a good week, but it could have been a great week. Yeah. No, it was sad. This was the saddest trade ever yesterday. This is our trade that didn't go low enough. And then they're like, oh, maybe we should take a half-hour entry here and then another one lower. And then I didn't. And then we missed out on 600 points. Yeah. Crazy. ¿Dirías que sería bueno comprar en NAS? Si se mantiene la estructura así. So they asked if NAS are good buys. If we can stay bullish up here, could be, yeah. For sure. But if this comes crashing back down again right now, then I wouldn't be so sure. Comcast decided to say, fuck Vaughn's trading today. What? Bad Wi-Fi today? All right, so gold working its way down. So look at how the market came up, starting to push back down. Sometimes it wants imbalance fills, and then it runs. Silver, though, way more bearish. So silver's actually pushing a lot more aggressively, which is good. I mean, silver might want to play out of an order block or play out of this down here, and that could still we could still see gold kind of maintain its structure. So gold is sustainable, a lot more sustainable than silver at the moment with price action. So what I kind of think is going to happen is I think we'll see gold play into this order block, and then silver drops into this one here. Something like that is possible. Looking at nat gas buys around 4.78, 4.70. Thoughts? I haven't looked at natural gas in a minute. But for you, I will. I got you. What's the contract? Is it NGF? Is it NGF? It is. Okay. Perfect. Let me zoom out a little bit. I see possible shorts. So, who did ask me that? 4.78 to 4.70. Are you on futures or are you trading CFDs? Because entries at 4.70 and 4.78, I definitely do not see at all. I would not want to take a trade in the imbalance. That's just not my entry model. I would be looking for maybe a buy down here. Here we saw some consolidation Wednesday 26th throughout New York session. And then London clears these lows, and then you see the continuation. So this, I would understand. CFDs. Okay, so you know it's Austin. I know, but Trader Joe's is lit. So I like saying Trader Joe's. What's up, Austin? Austin S, right? From Texas? I'm in gold longs, yeah. I'm already in long, so. Yeah, I've been in gold buys since this area down here. Here and here. Okay. So I like the buys here. And then possible shorts though. How do you feel about this right there? This actually looks good. So you had some sideways movement. Markets just moving sideways yesterday, New York session into Asian session, London session, and then we make one more move higher right there. Clears these highs just by a bit, just by a hair. So you see the the market here picks up big momentum. So big buy orders drive price up. This takes out sellers one last time. So, sellers that have their stops above these highs, gone. Market then bleeds out, and it's been trading down here. So we've been seeing the market down here for about 40 minutes. I would love for this to stay bearish. So this is what I need to potentially get some shorts in here. Let's let this thing kind of settle. Then I'm open to sells around here. And this might be the beginning of a distribution. So this could be the beginning of that reversal that could play, honestly, very far down. But I need this first. If I don't get this, there is no trade. Meanwhile, gold, nice. Breaking through, starting to fill some of the imbalance, targeting this liquidity. And now looking back at silver, look at the difference. Now gold overtook silver. So gold is back on being the bull here. And now silver also has these highs to take out. So I think our chances of gold hitting take profit up here are pretty good. Gold and silver move in sync. Yeah, they're correlated, so they do move together. Usually one's is a bit more bullish than the other, so they kind of switch. And I keep that in mind when looking for entries. All right, guys. So take a look at how we've shifted price action right now. So NASDAQ and S&P were the first to liquidate New York, Asian, London session. So these took the highs first. And then now it's coming right back down. So we want to keep that in mind. because we might have valid sell-offs. However, before I would sell off NQ, I want to see Dow clear this liquidity. Like, I don't really like the idea of selling Nasdaq if we still have, there's so much incentive for price to go up for Dow. Dow has all of this liquidity, and we have this high up here. So at least take some of this out. And that's what New York Open might do. It might just pump this first. So to give my thoughts on natural gas, this is the idea. So I'll start writing this up for you guys in here. Today's setups. I shared that gold trade yesterday, right, in the chat. Natural gas. Then let me add some context here. In order to short NG, I want to see here. I'll give 2 charts. This one is a bit more specific. I want to see bearish, maintain price below, where are we at right now? 4.95. Okay, below 4.95. If we see this, then I'm open to selling down to that 1 hour buy zone. Okay. Goal was marked. All right, perfect. Alex Profit, what's up, man? I wish I understood what you meant. Can I look at 6B? I can take a look at it. Sure. I'm going to post this already. And then, guys, if you have a chart you want me to look at, just drop it in here. Drop it in this. Or 2 minutes out from New York Open, y'all. 2 minutes out. All right, 6B. The pound. What are you looking, what do you got with the pound here? Oh, okay, hold on. I didn't see this. Little sweep action. That was unemployment claims. Pushed it down. All right. Now we're breaking above. Okay. Potential. It's not valid yet for me, but it could be. Okay. So patience now. One, let's see if are there other setups like pound right now. Does anything else sweep liquidity? So GBP, we see take out New York, Asian session, London session lows with the unemployment claims event. So we see this like crash from here down to this area. Fantastic. Now we just broke the high. We want to see this maintaining, right? So almost there. We want to get something like this, right? Then we can look for the buys. So something like this is what we want to see. The probabilities go significantly higher the more we have something like that. So with 6B, GBP, this is what we're looking for. Wait for bullish demand to confirm uptrend. Then the buy is valid. Okay. And we got New York open, folks. So, boom. First minute, we got Dow ripping. Okay, perfect. We have S&P going down. What? All right, so now, wow, this mitigated. Look, here was the pump. Last little push up. Drops. Goes up to here. Mitigates this. Sends off. Sheesh. Very interesting. So the shakeout played out. It just wasn't happened quicker than I thought it would. So we got the textbook setup. Takes the highs, gives us the good old break, retest, lures in buyers, bleeds. This thing is bleeding out. So and now down. Look at that, guys. All right, perfect. So now down is sweeping liquidity. All right, taking out all of the Asian New York. It's almost getting close to taking out New York sellers up here. So we're very close. I have to switch where the audio comes from because I'm not hearing these alerts. Let's see, sound from here. Okay, there we go. All right, beautiful. Now we've seen it take out the highs. Perfect. Meanwhile, look at NASDAQ. Absolutely tanking. So, is this enough structure to want to take these buys here? I don't think so. Because it gets above, but it just does that to come back down. Like, clearly the intention was not to be bullish here. So I'm not going to take NQ buys. I'm okay with missing out on that. And then in the meantime, now we're seeing Dow way up here. So now that Dow Jones took out all of this liquidity, we ended up getting reaccumulation. Now let's see if the second part of this works out. Is this going to lose momentum? Can we see a shift in structure like this? On the other hand, it's possible that we see this, right? So here's the entire move up. So this is the smart money buy. So a massive move up. Obviously, this thing just tanks, comes down to here. If this happens to be sustainable and then it reverses, we may have a good short out of this area too. So right here. This could be a sell right there. So, I mean, I would have loved to position you guys into shorts here. If we would had traded, let's say, this a little bit longer, like just lured in more buyers, I think I would have been open to this. But to be honest, I don't think I would have sold here anyways. I would have had an entry a little bit higher in this imbalance. So it is what it is. But beautiful movement. Now we have, this is one entire massive buy position. So you got a huge move right here. So if this stays relatively bearish, then yeah, the short, this could be a distribution. Now you could be looking at pretty textbook shorts here. Whoa, what a move. What a move. Anyone getting this somehow? All right, look at that. Now that Dow swept liquidity. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Dow took out the highs now. And then now that was exhausted, honestly, we could have just guessed that this thing was going to drop. It's pretty likely. I figured it would. But what would that be based out of? What else would you be taking? You know, you'd have to be trading just the imbalance in here, you know? So getting that extra confirmation is all right. Okay, so everything's moving together now. Now things are moving in unison to the downside. You see Dow is dropping and Q is dropping, and then now NASDAQ is quickly rebounding. So now we're seeing Dow start to pick up more strength. So I'm pretty open to shorting this once the market lures in some more buyers. So this exact scenario is currently unfolding. This is kind of what we want to see. Gold pushed up into here. I figured this wasn't possible that it would reject up here. So not mitigate, but like lose momentum. Hopefully this thing wants to go that next level. Silver, deeper pullbacks into structure. Okay, that's fine. All right, anyways, indices. So indices, filling in balance. We have, it's very clear now. This is not to create an uptrend. This is purely to liquidate. So with that being said, the market comes back up towards here. I like our sells in this zone. Here's a 15-second. Silver pushing back down. Can it survive? So I like shorts for Dow. And here is the last push up, huge drop. So either you take an entry in this imbalance, or if you want to be conservative, you take it like in this last move up. Maybe half risk here, half risk in here. So let's say that's the case. Let's say you take your trade over here. Right now we're seeing the buildup of buyers, so we're probably going to see this go sideways for a little bit, or at least that would be ideal. So something like this is definitely possible. I'd go half risk here, and then I want to take an entry or over here, so let's say 48,100. So yeah, looks like that's how I would split my risk. Nice little 4R. Boy's going crazy. All right, so gold pushing bearish, silver bleeding. Sad. This ended up mitigating instead of taking out the highs, and then there's liquidity here. Okay. Now getting back to this order block right here. Will that hold up? All right, so I'm going to set up a couple ideas here on Dow. All right, so I'm all squared up here. I got my entries. If we get to these levels, may or may not. So we shall see. Look at the difference in price action now. So NQ, big push down, but then now it's rallying up a lot more aggressively, a lot stronger. Nasdaq and S&P is versus Dow that's like maintaining this pretty well. So shakeout setups with Dow, that's my vision right now. And these are set here. Meanwhile, gold playing out of looks like it rejected here a little bit, but this still is going to keep going. So sadly, silver clearing out these lows now. All right, so any buyers here, you're done, kid. You're done. So taking out these lows, I have a feeling it's going to run still. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. Meanwhile, I got gold here. We were how much? What, less than 30 points from take profit. That's annoying. Gold just broke below. Well, fuck. Now this okay. So now in order for me to sell Dow, I need this to make lower lows. Otherwise, I'll have to delete all this. If this doesn't hold up, then I can't take this. So in order for a shakeout to be valid for me, it's got to stay within the push. Now that it broke, so now that it broke below this, it's not my shakeout model. Now it would have to confirm a mitigation model. Now I would need to see, man, I gave up so much money on this trade, on this gold trade. That's unfortunate. So here, we would want to see demand. Meanwhile, we have, and what's interesting is NQ took out the lows, came right back up. So look at how different this is all trading. It's fascinating. NQ clears liquidity, takes out, trades into New York session, and then it comes right back up. So it holds structure really well. Stays bullish, comes up again, stays bullish. So this is luring in retail sellers. And NQ, honestly, I feel like NQ is going to rip to the upside. This kind of looks like a shakeout in that sense. And at the same time, we're seeing Dow now just clear liquidity and played into here. So I actually think Nasdaq's going to rip from here. This would be an NQ shakeout for a buy. I would have preferred a better entry. Something like this would be nice. Hopefully you guys kind of see the idea. This was like a liquidity sweep. So let's take a look at this. Yo. Oh my God. Look at gold. You son of a bitch. All right, here we go. Yeah. And Q longs look decent. So anyways, if you were going to take a shakeout buy, let's say it's here. Looks like 4 or 5 cons could work out of here. All right. Why not? Oh, that was supposed to be 4. That's okay. So this is the fact that it's luring in sellers for the market to then go. So this has retail sells, and profit specifically after clearing liquidity. So now the demand is very low here because of the market didn't want to trade down here very much. Came right back up, sustained these levels, and then now there's potential for this to go higher. So you have that there. We just got the bounce from gold too, so I want to show you guys what I was thinking gold could be looking to do as well. So gold, the idea was the play out of here. This was one. We kind of have multiple things going on, so consideration. But here was the sell-off on gold. It was about 67 pips in the market. From here, already did its thing. So that was the mitigation, though, that I was looking for gold. And meanwhile, we have silver that had a way deeper pullback over here. Looks like I wanted to pull all the way back in order to then start coming up a little bit higher. NQ might not hold up. All right, so we see this over here. Let's see if that's going to hold. Where is NAS? So look at what Dow looks like here. Dow, bearish structure. Clear liquidity. Took out these lows. No signs of any trade really here yet. Meanwhile, we have NQ, which all it did was liquidate. Here's the 5-minute. Clear this out. Trade all the way down to here. Then once that did that successfully, came right back up. And then now the incentive is just if this is going to push towards clearing out these sellers or not. So squeezing. The more this moves sideways, the bigger the move can be. Whether it's coming down, and that's a limited downside. So if it comes down, cool. Like, that's it. It's just kind of over. And then if it comes up, though, when it's squeezing, then you have a significant, like it's a lot bigger in your favor. So I like when the market squeezes like this because the moves either are significant in our favor or it's like -1R and then that's all she wrote, you know. So yeah, not the biggest deal in the world. Gold pushing along nicely. Okay. MNQ, as you guys can see, I'm in drawdown here. This thing is chopping up and down. My entry was supposed to be lower, so I think I just got a bad fill. And that's my fault, because you're going to get better fills when you have limit orders than when you market execute. So that's on me 100%. Either way, it was, let's see. So my stop here is about 50 points. And then I'm going to take my exit here, a clean 2R at this last push up here. And you guys probably noticed, right? My decision making with this idea was pretty quick, but it was because I just noticed it a little bit late. So either way, I'm sold on the concept, and it's a loss I'm willing to take. And Dow is still pushing lower and lower and lower, while NQ is holding up pretty well. And so on the bright side, what we're getting is more confirmation that this short could play out too. So this Dow short, now that we've been trading here for 5, 10, 15 minutes or so, this could end up, this might end up holding up pretty well. So we'll see. Even if NQ doesn't play out, it's all good because it's kind of setting us up for a Dow short, which I'm cool with. And if it does, then let's say NQ does work out, Dow has a lot that it can come back and fill, so that actually may push NQ even further than what I had projected in the first place. What the heck? All right, so here, just about, this thing is holding on, man. It's holding on. What do you guys think? Over and under. Bet on whether it's like Inception. Instead of taking the trade, it's like, will it work out for Mike? Holding on. So now we've seen Dow traded into New York session, like halfway through New York session, clear some of these, especially these big sells. So this could get eaten up now. Let's see. I just might survive this trade. And on the bright side, there's a lot of sellers in here. So it's a pretty big push, if so. And that's a big if, right? This is a 1RL if it is the case. Is anyone holding gold by any chance? Go with the rally, mitigation rally. All right. Wow, this thing really just climbed right back up. All right. And Q, give us life. I feel like most of you probably stayed out of that NASDAQ buy because it was just like a quick decision making. And if you don't understand the idea, then it makes more sense not to be in it, right? All right, approaching break even here. Let me look at the chat. It's good, gang. Got taken out of gold for gold. I taken out for gold. I'm in NQ with you. Sick. Is that Karen or Ruben or both? NQ give a tiny 30-second accumulation. Sick. Okay, you're in there too. Crazy trading, chilling, zipping a cup down. Okay. Down with the textbook bleed out sesh. Yeah, for sure. Are you going break even gold or giving it some room in case it reverses more? That was 10 minutes ago. So let me see where we were at that time. Over here. Nah, so I had my stop profit here. And then the entry was over here. And then I missed this entry, which is what I wanted to take. So when it pulled back here, I took one here, but I really tiny because I was already, there was a much bigger stop. And then you said there was a reaccumulation here. I don't really see a new evidence in here for a better trade. So I wouldn't say all that. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Like, yeah, this doesn't really give me a new trade to take or anything like that. I wonder, I think this might be it for us here. Maybe it survives, but NQ here, holding on for dear life. Now YM is more bullish. And that's it. So that's a wrap on that trade. You guys can see I got closed out right there. The good thing is, so that's a -1R. Let's see. So you guys saw I was had my trade open here. And then that's a per account. What is that? Minus something. Minus 512 on that one. I wouldn't be surprised if it still goes, regardless. But yeah, you know, you kind of can't just count on it. So yeah, you can't just hope this thing's gonna reverse. Take your L's, guys, the ways you're supposed to. You know, you made your decisions. You gotta live with it. If you took that trade or not. All right, so now we've seen Dow trade down here for 16, 17 minutes. This is great. This is really confirming the idea for the short later. And then to understand the logic behind the setup too, here's where we've seen some pretty solid, well, YM looks a little better. But here's where we've seen resistance before. So sitting around 48,000, you know, 75, 80, like this area gets a good risk reward and a good entry for a short. So I like ideas over here, especially within this imbalance in itself. So yeah, I like this play now quite a bit. So now let's just give this time. NASDAQ here, of course, wicked out, now coming right back in. I already took my L here, so this is not about chasing. There's no need to do this all over again. The other option would be for buys, right? So if the market comes back, so just so we have a good look, we're at right around a 618 pullback with NQ. Where is this thing? Right here. And then we have with Dow, It's a lot more bullish in the big picture. In this 15-minute, you have this now. So this is trading above a 38 too. So if I'm going to look for buys, it would definitely be with Dow. And then shorts, honestly, shorts could also be with NASDAQ. So it's going to be all about how the market ends up working its way back up. And that's how I'm going to choose what I'm going to short. So if it's NQ shorts, then we're looking at somewhere around 25,690, like in this range. This is where I'd want shorts. And if it's going to be Dow, then we're looking at something like this over here. So let me map these both out, because these are just options, right? You got to be aware of what the options are here. So I got these here. And it would look something like this. $7R. That's nice. We like that. Like that. Okay. So let's add these to the setups. Today's setups. We got, where's that YM? Wait a minute. Did I do the wrong thing? Oh, I put 2. My bad. Here we go. So these look textbook. Either Dow or NAS. They look solid. And the NQ shakeout, honestly, I was cool with. Took it out, tons of liquidity. We came back up to here. We traded up here for 10, 15 minutes. It could have been better. I guess the only difference would have been that we maintained up here for longer. That would have confirmed this trade significantly better. But whatever, it is what it is. And then gold obviously gave some profits. It's coming. It's still up and running here. So I still think that the exit can be up here towards 42.47. But anyways, now for the shorts, this is the idea here. So a nice little short from this range. And then exits look good trading down to here. These are big R trades today. It's a volatile day. It's squeezed so much. So now if we get what we want, these can look pretty good. Okay, so we got let's see, where is this thing? Right here. All right, so NQ. NQ. Here we go. Save. All right, looks good there. All right, this is set up pretty well. Now it's a game of patience, my friends. There's no real motive, at least for me, for buys anymore. Not with like our signature entry model, at least. YM sweeps this, and it's just still trading lower, so it's not really like it just left liquidity to run up. Doesn't look that way. And then if we're looking at this from NQ, same thing. Cleared the low. It did bounce out of here, but it looks like it just wasn't enough demand for this to be sustainable. It wanted to go a little lower. From here now, what we got going on would be looking at majors. So like, I know, for example, someone asked about the GBP because it spiked down and came ripping back up. So right now, most of this is coming right back. So it wasn't really a sustainable movement. GBP, not bad though. So the pound, right, this was like the idea that was sent before. Right now it broke above. It traded above for 40 minutes or so before it's kind of breaking right back in. Still not the best. It's okay, but this is not great. If the market comes back up here and then we, do this, awesome. I'm in. But if right now it just kind of keeps working its way down, I'm gonna stay out of this one. So yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. Someone asked about oil, right? I think Edwin, you asked about oil earlier. I gave my thoughts on oil. I mentioned how I believe that people are going to want the buy over here below 58, 55. But I don't love it because of the equal lows over here. So it looks good on its own, but the exterior liquidity, I feel like the market could want to target this more than anything else. So I don't love that. What could have a better opportunity, in my opinion, would actually be the shorts. The market cleared these highs and then dropped. So selling, especially if the market stays down there, looks a bit better for me than the buys. I think that if I was going to buy here, it would not be with my like complete risk size. I would go probably half R, maybe even a quarter R because of the liquidity down there. Yeah. That's what you were asking. I think it was Edwin. I don't know if you're still on, but sneeze. I just sneezed twice and silver dumped the same instant. I got Mike's power finally. Yo. That's so funny. I'd like to consider taking some of these ideas whenever my internet provider decides to stop being stupid. Why don't you use your phone? Wasn't loving the liquidity on the left. Okay, so you had the same idea. It's just, all right, cool. All right. I think that's kind of it, guys. Right now, I mean, everything is what it's going to be. Got to give it a little bit more time. Look, pound is still going lower, so this might not be the case for the idea. I'll throw in oil in here. I'll throw this idea in here. Let's consider these opportunities. I'll unpin this. Obviously, we've been live for a while. And then here, you can pin this guy. I'll add some context here for oil too. All right, so for oil, the lower buy zone definitely has liquidity underneath that drops the win probability. Not a 1R trade I would take. The sell also has potential. Would want to keep seeing bearish demand. Okay. Sick. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, I'd say keep holding. I'm still like, I like the idea that gold could play out for sure. Even got another spike down here. Maybe this wants to come back or something, or just run straight up there. We already saw this mitigate this little push up. So these are struggling. It's like struggling to keep these trades over here. So gold still pushing towards here, I think makes sense. GVP, if it comes back, could be something. And then we got indices. Let's go take that last check here. Let's check this out one more time. Maintaining these lows. Okay, great. Cool. All right, guys, stay in the loop, right? Stay dialed in. Anything else? If I see something that I like, obviously I'll let you guys know. And we'll go from there. So for this session, gold with some nice movement. We were very close to hitting TP here. Ended up stop profiting out right here. So this was collectively a little over a 2R. Then the minus 1R on NQ for the shakeout. But I do think that we have more than enough opportunities later today to keep making up for that. So solid. Guys, I'm going to be launching a couple of resources for y'all today. So stay on the lookout for that. I'm going to be dropping a quiz. So this is going to be a trader optimization quiz. And it's about 29 questions or so. So once you go through it, you'll get feedback on like what elements of your trading you need to work on. And then it'll also give you a free resource on specifically that. So whether it's technical, psychology, your relationship with money, it could be your systems, it could be a variety of different things. There's kind of like 5 different major sections. So I'll be dropping that so you guys can check that out and go from there. So I'm stoked for you guys to use it. Actually, I'll drop it right now. I'll drop it in the chat. You guys can check this out. So trader optimization quiz. So check this thing out. Yeah, so use that, check it out, and then you'll get something from me there, obviously. So cool. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll go ahead and I'll pin this, and then I'll drop a post about it so you guys can check it out and enjoy. So stay tuned to the school community. If you're not in there, then go ahead and check this out now. Here, you guys can scan that. Make sure you're in the free community where we have tons of resources available for you. And as always, we have our syndicate group in which we're focusing on making sure you actually get paid from these markets and that you take this to a professional level at the highest performance possible. So if you're someone who maybe whatever you're doing isn't working, then scan that, book a strategy call just to see, either way, we'll give you some pointers. And if it's the right fit, awesome. If it's not, then just keep plugging in for free. So appreciate you guys. Take advantage. A couple new things coming out here for y'all shortly, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, y'all.